Well. Eventually, I was going to get to this story. The Smith family. We just talked about Jaden. Let's talk about mommy and daddy. A lot of people kept saying, Rob, what you think about the situation? Honestly, I don't think nothing. I don't even have to read an article about this. But let's talk. At the beginning of the relationship between Will and Jada, I mean, you got to understand Jada. Jada has a loss. She was, honestly speaking, she said she looked at Tupac as her brother. I think y'all had more than that kind of relationship. I think you and Tupac was really intimate. But then again, I can't judge. He may have been like a brother. I got a beautiful friend of mine. She's beautiful, fine, but I never ever thought about knocking her down. I never thought about giving her the business. And I probably thought about it, but then all of a sudden I just couldn't do it. Not that I was scared. I didn't want to mess up our friendship. So I wouldn't dare cross that road. So I don't know if Tupac was like that with Jada, but nevertheless, Jada, when Tupac died, it really hurt her. And I think that's one of the reasons why she leaned over to Will, and probably one of the reasons why she leaned over to August, or Og, the name that they gave him. Now, Og was a weird-looking cat when he came into the family household. Now, understand this. I mean, you coming from being in a relationship and having kids to coming into a relationship and birthing kids, it's not easy. Will had kids. I think Will was married before. Jada was not. The only thing she had was really her career and still having a problem getting over Tupac. I mean, let's call it is what it is. People saying, Rob, what do you think about the will and the entanglement thing and all that kind of stuff? You realize the word entanglement. Have you ever looked up the word entanglement? Let me show you what the word entanglement means. Let me go ahead and pull that up since you may not know what entanglement means. And I'm not going to go through the whole interview. You can go through the interview yourself. Okay. All right. So let's bring that up. Give me a moment. Entanglement means it's a complicated or compromising relationship or situation, like a romantic entanglement. It's a complicated or compromising relationship situation. Will and Jada had that problem, like most marriages do. Could be jealousy of Will, maybe women, vice versa. I mean, I can't say they don't have an open relationship, and you can't say they have one. Clearly, if Will is, he know how to keep his open relationships in check and don't keep them quiet. And if he did, kudos on him. Not good on her. So the whole story is that her and Will got into, it was getting bad. And you got to be married, and in the marriage, you got to know how to work through the real hard parts. You can't give up and quit. I interviewed about 10 elderly people and asked them the secret to their marriage, and they said we were not punks. We got too many punks around here when it comes to relationship. They let some of the smallest thing as well as the biggest thing punk them out of a relationship. In order to really get solid with the person, it won't kick in till your 4th, 5th year. You'll never get to know the person, and you can't 100% to trust the person, and that person will do some things to violate your trust, big or small. And if you don't know how to get through that, then you ain't going to make it to a real good relationship. You're going to go through hell and high water before you get to the promised land. And too many people quit. They punk out. And clearly Will and Jada was about to do that, because Will clearly stated in an interview that there was a time when he was done with her. Will gave up. They separated for a while. Now, Og was part of the family and things like that, but Og was a little closer to Jada and her mom, not necessarily Will. I was a kid at that time. Again, understanding how emotional Jada Pickett is, she took advantage of the boy. The boy fell in love. I mean, I get it. I've been single, man. I mean, when I separated from my wife, man, I had so many opportunities to knock some boots off the feet, boy. I had some women was coming to me left and right, man. Back then, I ain't gained no weight. I had some abs. I had opportunities, but I just didn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I wanted to wait. I said, I'll wait till I'm officially divorced. And even though in certain states separation is like a divorce, state of Virginia, you got to separate 1 year before you can file for divorce. That's torture. But according to this interview, Will was done with her and they were separated. And in most states, you're separated. It's as if you're not married. You're separate, but not divorced. They consider that legal as the precursor to divorce, and you can legally do whatever you want. You can't go back home to your wife and get back in a relationship with her because it will void the separation, and then you have to do it all over again. How do I know? My wife did it. They were separated. Will knew about it. He knew about it and kept it out of the public eye. He, Augustus, rapper wannabe, whack as crap. He the one put the mess out, bringing shame to that family. He shamed that family, all because she would not leave Will for her. And why? He thought he could win her. And when she separated and y'all in an entanglement, a complicated relationship, she done got her some young meat. And she did that for attention. They decided to work it out after that. She was woman enough to tell him he had a choice to go continue with the separation and get the divorce, but he chose to be a man, and that is a man, because that's a punk will leave that alone quick. Now you're separated. Why are you bothering about that? Y'all were not married. Y'all were not living together. Y'all were totally separated from each other. Which means you get busy with some chick. She can't say nothing about it because y'all made a decision to separate. It was not constructive separation. It was a regular legal separation. Whatever you do in between in separation has nothing to do with marriage. Well, you should have just waited. You ain't have to go out there and get you none because you know I was going to come back. How do I know that? You said I was done. You say you were done with me. But what does it matter to you? And I say that too. Really? You had to go with somebody that know both of y'all? But I come to realize that's how it normally is. Most of the time when you have an affair, it's always with somebody that either within the family or close to the family. So my take on this is it happens. It's no freaking big deal. Well, man, we're punking out, man. He's continuing. That's what you're supposed to do. For better or worse, sickness and health, till death do us part. That wasn't even worse. Now, had they been home, had they been married, and it came out that they was knocking boots before the separation, that's a problem. And yet you can still be man enough and deal with it. Learn from your mistakes and say, hey, that was a mistake. I'll never do it again. Give me another chance. Whether she give him another chance or he give her another chance, that won't make him weak. No, not necessarily. It will make me weak if I continue to let you do that. But I am a person of forgiveness. And one time, make it the last time. If you ever do it again, I'm definitely leaving you behind. No ifs, ands, or buts. No talking back into this. I'm leaving. But in this situation, they were separated. So he can't say nothing. He can sit there and say, I'm going to get you back and all that. Look, the thing was settled. They settled this a long time ago. what hurts Will is it had to come out in the open, and it made him look foolish. But it shouldn't make him look foolish because he was separated. But people got this image of Will Smith, Big Willie style. No woman will ever do him like that. Or Jada is such man, please. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way because I had so many people say, Rod, what's your view on this? That's my review. First of all, it was none of our business. Og put it out there, and that's what pissed Will off. He already handled the situation. He knew it was a time when they were separated, that nothing he can do about it. He probably hit some women off during that time too, and he probably got them quiet. She probably hit somebody off when obviously she hit somebody off, but he didn't want to keep quiet. That stuff must have been so freaking good that he was willing to damage the whole entire family that loved him in doing that. But I tell you what, you wouldn't be welcome back in my house, bro. Miss me, you are dead to me. And I bet not ever catch you nowhere near my wife.